Hey everyone, welcome back to the DJ Sessions presents the Virtual Sessions. I'm your host Darren, and right now I'm sitting in the virtual studios in Seattle, Washington, and coming in from, you know what? I didn't get that in the pre-show notes, Dr. Turner. Dr. Turner, where are you coming in from today?
England. Woo!
England. I guess I should have known that based
United
on
Kingdom,
the
man.
accent, but United Kingdom, right on. Well, today's guest we have is Dr. Timothy K. Turner, aka Tim. Tim, how you doing today?
Thank you. I'm very good, thank you. I absolutely love that intro, by the way. The visual was phenomenal. Your
Thank
by the
you.
way, I will
Yes.
say your editing skills are fantastic. I'm gonna give you so much
Shout out
credit.
to our sponsors and affiliates that we have for the show. Wouldn't be here without them. Definitely here to talk with you, though, about the Post-Human podcast. Tell our DJ Sessions fans what the Post-Human podcast is all about.
So the Post-Human podcast, what it is about is a very loose form interview style show. Probably like what in which you do yourself. I interview people from all walks of life. It doesn't matter who they are. If they want to come on the show, they can come on the show. We also do a lot of live shows, and then we host a radio show as well. I also love to promote a lot of new music that doesn't get recognized that often. If anything, my show mostly sort of started because of that. There's so many bands and artists that don't get recognized. And by the way, if you want to hear some of those bands, we do play a lot of new music as well. But if you go on to Spotify, Post-Human Podcast, Season 4 playlist, you'll see a lot of cool new artists who really don't. They're independent. So, but go on. Sorry, carry on.
No, you said season 4. How long have you been doing the series for?
Well, it's been on and off for about 5 years. It's very strange because season 2 never existed. We went from season 1 to 3 and then 4. But I've been doing it for 5 years. But season 2 was kind of a blend because we did more live shows than we did interviews. But I'd like to think it all blends into one, if that makes any sense to anyone.
Yeah. Tell us. You've had some notable guests on the show. We were talking a little bit about that in the pre-show. Tell us a little bit about who you've had on the show. What would one see if they tuned into the Post-Human podcast series?
So again, I am a big fan of film, and one of my favorite series, which I've watched from the start, was The Righteous Gemstones. Danny McBride's birth child of John Goodman was in it as well. There's so many people in there. But I thankfully, and it was sometimes, again, this is where I'll genuinely talk, like outside of the box. I was watching that show since its birth, and although I never interviewed the main guy, which would have been cool, out of nowhere a producer was like, hey, this guy wants to come on your show. And for me, again, the guy's name is James Dumont. You can look, it's the very first interview I did of season 4. Which is what I also found crazy. There's sometimes there's moments where you go synchronicity and reality kind of weirdly match up. And I didn't even intend on ever getting any person from a show I was consistently watching for years and yet reality decided to drop that on my doorstep.
Nice.
And then I decided to. It's what started season 4. I had no choice but to, because I was taking a big break, and I had no choice but to then go, what a fucking idiot I would be if I turned down a chance. Again, it is Chad. His name is Chad in the show, but it was, it was cool. That's all I got to say about that, as Forrest Gump would say.
What has been one of the most memorable moments you've ever had with your series and producing it? Is there any one episode that really stands out to you that says this is my favorite?
In fact, no, sorry. I want to rewind back.
Sure.
Also, Larry Hankin, he's known as that guy, and I spoke to you about him pre-show. If people know who he is, I wish I'd have been able to send you some clips. He is called that guy. For those who watch the Adam Sandler multiverse from what would have been the early 2000s, he was in Billy Madison. He played the butler, and it was another one of their moments where genuinely I decided to put on a blazer and go, hell yeah. People will know who he is if they watch the actual thing.
There we go.
Yeah, Larry that's Hankin. The guy. Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah, that's the guy, Larry Hankin. He's, I believe, after the last time I spoke to him, he was releasing a book called That Guy, if that's out there. I've yet to speak to him since, because I was in my own world of children and trying to set my own server up. But hopefully that book should be out, and he'll be on this season's show.
Nice. Yeah, it's always good when you get those notable guests and you remember those episodes and having fun. Just you find out that people, that they might be a celebrity, but they're just real people. They are. Yeah. I've had a lot of guests on the show, a lot of notable people, very famous people on the show in the past, and they've been some of the most humble, coolest people in the world.
I mean, that's what I was going to ask you. You've got like 2,000 shows plus under your own belt, which is it's pretty impressive. There's a lot of shows, a lot of people you've worked with. So, I mean, what's the most? I mean, before I cut back to the prior conversation, which again I am sorry for, can I give that question to you? What would be the most notorious moment?
The one that never aired. No, I mean, I get asked this question often a lot in my series, and it's hard because every show has been a memorable moment. I go into it. Every show has been fun. It's been a unique experience. It's been awesome. And, the one show that got away that never saw the light of day, it was an interview with a very prominent DJ. And we decided to do the interview, and I was warned that we wanted to do the interview. Like, do you want to interview him before his set, before his show, like during sound check, which is like 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, or do you want to? Okay. I go, we can do the interview after. And she looks at me, his road manager looks at me, and goes, "Are you sure you want to do that?" I went, "Yeah, we'll be totally fine. We'll be totally good to go." I won't name the name of the show, and like I said, I have it in my archive somewhere in a file. But it never saw the light of day. But let's just say it was about 2:30 in the morning. The nightclub is shut down, and I'm on the couch interviewing. We had been drinking all night long, but I had my camera gear and everything set up. So rolling the cameras, lights, camera, action was not the problem. Being 2:30 in the morning and a little 3 sheets to the wind and having 3 empty bottles of Patron in the VIP room with 6 people.
Oh
as
yeah.
his favorite drink was Patron was kind of the problem. So they never do an interview
Almost gives it
completely
away a bit.
slosh drunk. And I was probably running on like 5 hours of sleep or something, and it was just hilarious. And the other guests that I've known that person for a very long time, they were kind of out of it as well. So the interview was very sloppy. It was longer than my normal, like funny enough, you think that 15 minutes during an interview is not a long time, but it was a long interview because normally my interviews are like
Really?
7 maybe 8 minutes long. So this just kept going on and on. And you just watched it and just got more painful and painful. I mean, I pushed through it, but yeah, try not to do interviews under the influence. Haven't done them for a long time because of that. It's work, then play. But, that being said, that was kind of one of those memorable moments. But yeah, every moment that I get, I mean, it's hard to pick a favorite one because I'm watching it and going, did I just get that? I just got that. Nobody else in the world has anything like this. You look at, and you're doing this at an independent level, and you got these big names that don't even do it. You'd think that they would find somebody to sit behind a desk with a webcam and they're interviewing these people. They could sit down and interview these people rather than how it's kind of pertained in the industry. I'm not trying to knock any source or any outlet out there, but they send the artist 10 questions and let the artist fill out the answers and then publish those. It's like, to me, that's not an interview.
Well,
they use some boilerplate canned questions and throw them out there.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
with the DJ sessions,
it's. Go on, sorry.
Oh no! I was going to say, with the DJ sessions, I do my research pretty much an hour before I do the interview, and I have some standard questions. I got about 500 questions that I can pull from that I know, but I build those questions based upon what I'm seeing if I'm looking at you, Dr. Timothy K. Turner, I'm like, okay, what did he say on social media today? What did he say 2 weeks ago? What was a big momentous event in life that just happened? And I can base my questions in my interview around current events of what's going on, or even then go into some past stories as well, or ask some industry related questions, depending on what they do in the industry, to build an hour-long interview and keep it flowing. So, that's one of the things. You got to keep your audience engaged. You got to keep your host engaged, and ask relevant questions. So again, I tell a lot of podcasters, when starting out, do your research. You can go free balling it like what you do, and that's an awesome template. Just see where the chips fall. But even for beginning podcasters, if they get on the camera, they're just like a who, what, why, where, when.
No. I mean,
like,
fuck.
No, you want to have some interesting discussion, or what do you think about this? And I try out. I stay out of politics. I don't do anything controversial.
Me too.
I'm not trying to get.
I don't.
So yeah, that's pretty much how our show flows.
I don't really. I mean, to be fair, that's how I like to stick. I get the occasional political question, but you go, what the fuck is the point me even responding to it? Because it's not gonna change anything. Like, so nada. But I get it, man. I get it. It's always worth having those like codes of conduct for yourself as well. Like, keep out of politics, because I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Like, who needs to speak on current affairs? Like a bunch of fucking dickheads talking on cam. Like, of course, we're the voice of the world, like, And I'm not calling you a dickhead. I was calling myself that.
No. If somebody wants to come in and bring something up,
you know what I mean, like.
But typically, we're about the fun, the music. I mean, not trying to surpass anything or bury anything or not talk about big topics, but there's so much going on that if I want to focus on that subject and bring it in, I can. But there's so much other stuff going on, and we're really here to promote the music, the good times, the good feelings, talking about, it's a press junket. People are coming out to promote themselves, get some media.
I like to refer to it. Do you know the word like schmoozing? Like where you talking business? I think that lately, and no one even uses that word, but I think that the whole destroying of the world of the I think that in itself is like schmoozing. Like everyone wants to get on the bad topics. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, let's talk about this, let's talk about that, and it's kind of fucking crazy. You know, everyone wants to go to the negatives. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that a lot of people are schmoozing as such to the point the negativity is rolling heavy. And I don't know how we can get out of it, but we've got to. And the way to do it, I would imagine, is through music. It's the only way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Who is
yeah,
some of
that's
your
that's
favorite
kind of what our mission
inspirations?
is if people wanted to come to our site, they're going to listen to a great interview from an artist that they like. They're going to hear some great music if it's an exclusive mix. We have our new album store and site-wide player that you can listen to music while you're surfing through our site, which we're really excited to have. Heck, you can go watch us in virtual reality if you want to in our VR nightclub, you know,
That's
and
cool,
watch our
man. I
interviews
like
live and listen to our set stream live. So we've really got a lot going on over here. But
my
again, it's just meeting artists
my
like
show
yourself, like you
started
said.
in VR.
Oh,
Like that's
really?
how my show begun. Yeah, my show started in VR. It's
What
how
platform?
originally it was on Alt Space. It
Oh,
was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it's dead. I think the site's dead now, but for
Yeah,
those
not too
who
happy about
do
that.
have some of those, I mean, I don't do VR anymore, but if anyone does have some of those original shows, fucking send
Nice.
them to me. They were. I didn't record them fully, but they're out there. If someone's got them, send them to me. I will pay you for those. They're some of
Nice.
the
Hey.
first shows I ever did. So, who's some of your inspirations? Obviously, you know you DJ yourself. So, what kind of musicians inspire y'all?
Actually, I don't DJ. It's kind of a fallacy of the show that everyone thinks since I produce a show called the DJ Sessions that I'm a DJ. And no, I'm an executive producer. Everyone I know that comes on the show is
Oh,
usually a DJ, a producer, or in the electronic music industry in
oh,
some way, shape, or form. I'm the film guy.
yeah.
I'm the technical film geek nerd person that does all the technical stuff on the back end to make the show happen. And finds sponsors, knocks on the door, shakes the hands, writes the contracts, does all that fun stuff. So, and hosts the show as well. So, yeah,
But,
but I mean, that's
but
kind
even
of,
then, so what? Who are some of your favorite artists? If
oh,
you
I
could
mean, there'd be
name
too
a
many
top
to
five.
name. But if I had to pick one right now, I'll give a shout out just because I was talking about him playing him in the truck, his Spotify channel the other day. Dr. Fresh is a pretty awesome cat.
Okay.
He's pretty cool. I interviewed him once a few years back. He came to Seattle last year or the year before, played in the back of our truck. We drove him around. It was really awesome. That was exciting. I think that was 2023 we did that. It was 2023 we did that. Just a really nice overall guy all around, really outgoing, really energetic. But you know, it's I mean, there's just two. I ask DJs the same question: who's your favorite DJ? And they don't want to burn any bridges or get their ass chewed out,
I know.
saying,
I
"How come you
get it.
didn't name
I
me,
get it.
man? How come you didn't say my name?"
Yeah. No,
You
I get
know,
it. I
I
get it.
mean, if you could go back and a friend of mine has this theory. He's always told me this for years. He goes, "Do you ever go back and watch your old episodes?" And I go, "No, I don't go watch my old
Nope.
episodes because
I don't either.
9 out of 10 times, one, I'm already doing the interview, so I've watched it. If
Yeah.
I've edited it, I've kind of watched through it at some rough point. But two, if I'm there
Yeah.
filming the show with the DJ and the DJ's playing, I've already seen the show. I already know what it's all about. I'm not going to go back and watch it, especially with the amount of content that I'm producing. To go watch, if I'm producing, when we ramp up, our goal right now is to be at about 100 hours of content a month in like October this year, October,
Not bad.
November this year. We're revamping, rebringing everything
Not
back
bad.
to speed. If I had to sit back and watch every single episode that I produced every month,
I know.
that'd be over.
You'd go
That'd be
insane.
100 episodes a month. Even at 20 episodes a week, that'd be 20 hours. I'd just be sitting there watching, or even just listening in the background, I wouldn't be listening to any new music. I wouldn't be listening to anything. I wouldn't be able to do interviews with other podcasters. It'd be like, no, why would I want to watch my old episodes? There's no point in it over and over again. I'm not that narcissistic.
I have never watched.
I am a personality.
That's what it is. No, but that's what it is. Honestly, I can't watch anything I've ever done. What I do is I go, are my audio levels okay? Sound. The only thing I will edit, let's say I need to go to the bathroom. Okay, I'll put a song in that fill. That's it. I don't need to do any fucking cuts. I don't need to do any crazy nonsense. Like, bang, this is the show. It's again, going back to the first question you asked, what is the Posthuman podcast? Fucking one of the most unedited shows you will ever see on the internet. There is no cuts. And again, you'll see something that goes like this. I'll look directly down the lens when I do this. So, I'm a big conspiracy fan, and I love conspiracies. I debunked some lately. We spoke about that on the lives, if people have listened to that. But people will go look down the lens, they go, hey, welcome to the, and then it'll go, the Posthuman part. There's cuts and jumpy moments. You can't even really replicate it unless you're some sort of fucking alien. And to be quite honest, the people that do that are huge stars. You telling me you can't do a one sentence take? Well, that's fucking bananas.
I pride myself on shooting.
So the only thing I will say, the only thing I will say is to all the other podcasts of the world, sort your fucking shit out, man. You can't do a sentence take. Oh, it's so tricky. God damn, man. I can do it lit. I'm smoking and drinking. You can't do it sober. Fucking.
Yeah, it does practice. And it's you can read all the manuals you want, but it's not going to teach you stage presence. It's not going to teach you mic presence. It's not going to teach you voice control. It's not going to teach you how to research. It can tell you to research. What your level of research might not be my level of research. I may have 2 degrees and understand what it's like to write a 30-page thesis and do my research and do my annotations and all my stuff and put the paper together and blah, 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 blah. Where somebody else, their research might be like, I went to a website and I looked up and I wrote some questions down and then, okay.
But I mean, even like the pre-show, But even like the pre-show, I was, again, I'm talking like I'm the fucking genius. But the pre-show, you showed me a whole bunch of cool shit. And I'm like, I didn't know how to do any of that. I'm talking like I know the world. But you showed me, literally, I was like, holy shit, that's cool as fuck.
You're welcome. Yeah. There's some awesome tools out there. Honestly. Like I said, I didn't start out just like this. You can go back and watch some of our first episodes. I mean, I guess if I do go back and watch an episode and I go back just to check out an episode from like 2009 when I was first live stream, and I went, people were watching this and listening to this. And we're talking, I had a 2 megabit upload connection. I probably was going up. My upload was probably 700 megabits. My audio was probably going on at 96K. Because we just had to dumb it down as much as we could. Couldn't even really send it out at 128K because the combined stream would be about 800, 900. And on a 2 megabit upload, we might get 1.1, 1.2 consistent. So just to make sure we didn't break our bandwidth, we had to dumb the shows down. I mean, it was pretty choppy, but back then it was the bee's knees because nobody else was doing it. And you looked okay on camera and you looked decent, we had total lights, 1,750 watts worth of lights in the studio and broadcast quality cameras and all this fun stuff. And we were piecemealing it.
But that's what most people don't understand is like, if you was doing it in 06, do you know what? It's another one of them gripes where you have these celebrities that go, yeah, I was doing it way back when. and I was the original. Man, most of them aren't. Like, I've seen so many more people that have predated those, where they've claimed their fame. I was the original podcaster. I mean, fucking Rick, I think he is the original for doing radio shows, but it weren't even a podcast then. And that was pre 2006, but nothing against yourself. That's an insane amount of time. But you get so many of these fucking people that just go, oh, I was the original. And they aren't. But that is what's crazy to me is the fact that you've been doing it for that entire time. Because that to me is more impressive than all these bullshit artists who go, I was the original. Yet meanwhile, you have people that have been doing it for the genuine amount of time. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'll share a little story with
crazy.
you, Tim. I'll share a little story with you, and I'm not going to say who the name is. And this is the first time this has ever happened to me directly, and it just happened last week. I sent out invites to invite people to come on the show, and I sent out about 300 invites a week. I got back a message from a guy. It was forwarded to me from my assistant. Got back a message from a guy, and he said something, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, you know what? Something like, I don't want to be on your podcast, or you haven't even streamed for this long. You haven't been streaming for like the last few months. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. So I'm reading this as my assistant sent it over to me. I come back at him and I go, and he goes, oh, and by the way, there's nothing as a featured partner on Twitch. And I came back and I said, and that's what he said that. And I go, yeah, here's the link to what a partner is on Twitch. And yeah, we're a partner. And we've been one since 2018. One of the first live streaming DJ shows. And I kind of laid into him. He comes back at me and responds, oh, I know what a partner is, being one myself, but there is no such thing as a featured partner. I let it go at that because I almost came back and said, okay, have you ever been featured on the front page of Twitch before? Why do you think I call ourselves a featured podcast? Because we've been featured on the front page of Twitch. It's not too hard to make partner nowadays. You can fluff your fucking numbers and make partner overnight for fucking $50, okay? Don't come to me talking your shit that you're a partner because I don't know how you made your numbers. Your show might be this and your show might be that, but you're turning down a legitimate media source that has thousands of episodes, hundreds of celebrity contacts, and all this stuff. You come off pontificating like you want to tear somebody down because they say they're a featured partner. Yeah, we're a featured partner. We're one of the first DJ shows ever featured on Twitch. There are things that I have with our partnership account with Twitch that partners don't get anymore. Like, we're grandfathered in. I can't say what they are because I don't want Twitch to find out and then go, oh, you're not supposed to have that. But I mean, there's things that, it's like, dude, I was having conversations with Twitch before you even thought of doing a show. And you're going to come talk to me. And I've been doing live streaming for this long. Just the audacity of it was kind of like, seriously, dude?
Well, that's the exact word I was going to use. Literally, I was going to say, like, most people, their audacity of it, you go, are you fucking insane? Like, it's mostly the same. It's like a case in, case out kind of deal with that stuff.
Yeah.
Like 9 times out of 10, those people,
okay, delete from the list. Same. And whatever, dude. I'm just like, whatever. In this day and age, I mean, I've been accused of so many things because people want to know my secrets of my success. And it's like, I'll say it right here. It's none of your fucking business. It's none of your fucking. Why am I going to tell you how I got successful? Okay, I'll just say, hey, do you have $2,000 a month you put into marketing of your shows? Do you work 45 hours, 50 hours a week, bouncing out everything in the back end to get your shows up and successful? Do you network? I'm not telling you who I network. That's like people come to me and saying, hey, can I get your Rolodex of all the phone numbers you have of all the major label contacts and everyone that helps make your show so successful? Can I get that for free? And it's funny because here you have DJs. a DJ will get pissed off if a new DJ says, "Hey man, can you share with me your songs? Can you share with me your library of tracks that you bought, you purchased, you curated, you organized? Can I just get all 35,000 of your songs for free? I'll pay you $500 for it." And the DJ goes, "No, dude, that's my curated library."
Bargain, mate. I know.
Yeah, you go
that
fucking collect all those tracks. You go find the tracks and do the work and do all that shit. No, it was just offensive. I had somebody run up to me one time during Pandy in the middle of one of my shows, and he's like, "How are you getting on your viewers? How are you getting on your viewers?" I'm like, "None of your fucking business." Well, could somebody be doing this? Could this be happening? I go, I can't control what happens on the internet, dude. If a fan wants to do this, I can't stop them from doing it. That's like somebody's like, oh, if I had a fan, like I had a fan. We were driving our truck around one time during PAX, big video game convention here. One girl took a 37-second clip, didn't know who she was, totally innocent bystander at this crowd. Apparently very famous though. Took a clip of our truck driving by for 37 seconds. In less than an hour and a half, 2 hours, it had over 17,000 views on Twitter. And it's like, yeah, that maybe because I'm doing something different and people are sharing and talking about it rather than just going on Facebook and saying, me, look at me. Because that's what they do.
That's what people don't like. Honestly.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
people
I don't want to look at you. I want to hear from other people.
That. No.
I don't do my show so I can look at my face in the camera and go, look, I'm so pretty. I'm so beautiful. Screw you, Tim. Get out of the way. I want to look at myself. No, I want to know what Tim's up to. If I really wanted to, I'd just do this. Okay, fine. Now the show's not all about me. Now the show's all about Tim. There we go. You know, put my ego in the corner as it is.
No, but do you know what? That's what I like about you. Do you know what? Yeah, you're one of the first people who've interviewed me that's been more real than most of the people that. Oh no, I mean it. Like I've had loads of people that have. They just it's all ego, but they disguise it in weird ways, and you go, oh, like I'm not gonna see through that shit. Like, of course. And again, you know, appreciate. But again, you know, fuck, man. I might have to do some tracks with you.
You know, I can get. You know, I can tell after doing this for a while. I don't knock anyone in their style, but I can definitely tell how long they've been doing it for, or what their research is, or how prepared they are when they come down.
You can see,
you know. And it's not a bad way of doing a show. I'm not knocking anyone's style. It's just not my style. You know, I come in. I know these people I know the majority of people that I have finite times. They're on tour. They're in the studio. They're making tracks. They have a family. They have things they have to get to. So getting an hour of their time, I better be. And here's the other kicker I got to look out for is I'm usually being booked through their PR manager. If they go back to their PR manager and their PR manager says that guy sucked, that PR manager might represent 20 more people. They're saying, I'm not putting any of my artists with you ever again. And once I get, you know, if I get in with that PR manager and they like my content, I can request their other people and they'll go, sure. And they'll just throw the people right at me because they know the content's going to come out clear, concise, researched well, and distributed on time. And links shared with the right hashtags, the right app mentions, all of that. And they go, wow, I've had my DJ interview on countless platforms, and some of them never even see the light of day. Some of them never even get out there. We don't even see the hashtag on them, you know, or the app mention.
I will say this, that is one of the worst things that I am, the apps, the hashtags. Again, I actually don't promote my own show, which is why I find when people get in contact with me, I find it weird because I've not once promoted anything. Nada.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone, again, I do have someone who deals with my emails because I can't be asked with any of that shit. But it's one of the weird things. I go, how the fuck do you even know? again, I am an underground show. Again, going back to question one, what is the Posthuman podcast? It's a very underground show. If anything, most of the radio, especially the radio shows, where I'm playing stuff that is hugely copyrighted. Shockingly, I've not been sued yet. And if you do go into my genuinely, if you can, if people can go into it right now, and go into the Posthuman podcast, look up the lives. My lives aren't there because if you didn't watch it, sorry, you should have been there for the live. But if you go through there, you'll go copyright, every single one of them. A few of them blocked. Like, again, it's a difference. This is so again definitely going back to question one. What is the Posthuman podcast? An underground radio show who isn't scared of being hit by fucking lawsuits of copyright.
Yeah,
I'll add that one to the chamber.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I have to be very careful with a lot of stuff that I do because of the copyrights. And a lot of people are scared. Yeah. Are they going to actually launch a lawsuit campaign to go after them all? No. I've been on countless ends of these battles, and really what it comes down to is if the way Twitch does it, this is why I like their platform, is they have something that is supposed to strike you out of the system. It doesn't really get enforced as much as it should. 1, 2, you can turn off the ability to record your episodes to Twitch, so that gets them out of that puts them into a loophole, or it puts them into an
that's what
use
got
of what's
me.
called a thermal.
Yeah, I know what that is. That's what got me. Yeah, I had to turn mine on.
So,
trying to not record my episodes. Them bastards. That was a big thing with me. I was like, why are my episodes not up on Twitch? Oh, turns out you have to turn on the VOD. Yeah.
Trust me, turn off the VOD and then turn off the VOD.
Yeah.
And then, that was Twitch kind of told me that in the beginning when I first started streaming with them. They go, Darren, you have over 200 some odd videos up here, all with copyright flags. And at the time, because I was a partner, they were flagged, but they weren't blocking the audio out on them. 2, they said, if we put you to the front page, it's going to get you a lot of attention, and you might be looking at some lawsuits. So not only that, they could come back at you to your own website for everything you have hosted there. And I went, so I turned off my video on demand back in like 2019. Everyone goes to my Twitch channel like, oh, you say you're this and that on Twitch, but you don't have any videos of your show here. I go, yeah, because of copyright, you idiots. I'm not letting them build a rule. You guys go ahead and do that. And one day when it finally hits, you're going to watch your whole library go bye-bye. And Twitch also does something really cool is if you're an affiliate, they keep your shows, I think, for 2 weeks on their VOD. If you're a partner, they keep them for 30 or 60 days on VOD.
I looked at that yesterday.
My shows, because of who I am, because of that featured partnership I mentioned, my shows have stayed on there indefinitely. And try to tell people I have some caveats and things that I had that they don't give out anymore to people because I've been in for years. Like you said earlier, I've been in before those people were doing it. And so I was a first mover. So I get those kind of privileges. Yay.
Hell yeah, man. So obviously, what's some of your, obviously, you're dealing with like so many different artists and DJs and stuff in the production line. So like, how hard is that to negotiate? Like, is that like, I would imagine it's very tricky because obviously if you're in production, that's a whole different layer. Again, there's a layer here and then there's a layer up there. And I believe in that layer here where it's fucking gnarly and you're dealing with a whole bunch of
the thing was it probably got us the thing that got us started in the beginning was that I had a very local approach when I first started to the show. So when I first was interviewing DJs, the DJs were coming by. Well, I mean, first, if we want to go to ITV Nightlife, we were going out to the nightclubs and interviewing the DJs and then bringing them back and putting them up in a podcast, putting them on broadcast television in a podcast. Then then we evolved and I started inviting the DJs to come by my studio in early 2010. Then I got the mobile studio and I could do some stuff with that. Then we got another studio and I started inviting more DJs, or being out on the red carpet, as you would say, kind of out and about. But then got another studio and I invite the DJs to come by there when they were in town. So I started building up a slow reputation for interviewing these bigger name DJs when they came to Seattle, Washington. Once I had that reputation going, when I went to go invite somebody to come on the show, they might say, well, who else have you had on the series? I could say A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Here's the episodes to prove it. And they'd be like, okay, let's see if we can run it. Over time, that list just grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. And then I tapped in and got access to a database of like 20,000 DJs, starting with number 1, going down to number 20,000, and started building a list. And in 2022, we did a little bit of a different format. I was sending 40 emails a week out, inviting people to be on the show, thinking, 40 emails, that's a lot. Crazy, man. I said to my virtual assistant, I said, you know what? Let's step that up to 300 emails a week and see what happens. And the first month after doing that, I had 49 interviews in my first month. The next month I had like 39 interviews. The next month I had like 51 interviews. It was just insane. I mean, I was just interview after interview after interview, exclusive. I had no time. I'd wake up in the morning. I had no time to eat breakfast. I had no time to eat lunch. I was doing interviews, almost 30-minute windows in between them. No time to research, like 4 or 5 interviews a day sometimes. And so I finally came back and revamped my schedule. Revamped my schedule. And now, if anyone wants to doubt me, they go to our site at that time was a 2000. Man. The site I originally had that was the first one was built in 2000. I launched it in 2013, but it was probably built in like 2009, 2010 as a template. The next site that I got was I launched in 2018, and that was built in 2013. The latest reiteration of the site that I got was launched in 2021, mid 2021 roughly. And I think it came out in 2018 and it's still currently updated. Like devs, I got everyone on top of that site now. And we'll probably revamp the look of the DJ sessions probably maybe in a few years. I might come back and revamp the look, the feel of it, but we're churning out so much content. The look and feel of the website really isn't, you aren't coming and going, oh, wow, this is such a cool website. You're coming going, holy shit, you just interviewed so-and-so. Holy shit, I just heard a set. I just heard a mix that I've never heard. Or, oh, wow, I found this track that I might be looking all over. Like, oh, I went to Beatport and there's 10,000 million tracks up here. But I went to the DJ sessions and I listened to this artist that was in the store and I downloaded that track and I put it in my set all the time. Somewhere where people can go and keep coming back to it.
That jug is so crazy big.
What's that?
I'm sorry, I've got to point out that jug is so big. That jug is insanely large.
Yes, you can.
Crazy big.
I don't know. Is that backwards right now? Is that backwards to you?
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, no.
There we go.
Yeah. Mirrored. It looks.
Yeah.
What's in there? Is that water? That's so.
Yeah,
crazy,
just water.
Man. It's a huge.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
But anyways, it's we want to make our site somewhere where people are constantly coming back to, checking it out, and having a good time and telling their friends about it. That's kind of our goal. And I see a lot of sites out there that they put the site up, but then they aren't putting content into it, or they're putting little content into it. And it's like, oh, here's a mix, or here's my events, and it's great if you're a fan, but why would I come back? Because I could just follow your SoundCloud and I don't have to follow your site. And if I follow SoundCloud,
can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
Obviously, you're stateside. Have you ever heard of like How to Scouter from the UK.
Not a punk
It's
rock
like
band, is it?
no. It's like basically during some of the old DJing times, there was you could only get them on cassettes. They're extremely rare to find. You'd get them in a big box of like eight cassettes. You'd have a cassette, and by that I mean an actual cassette. And they were called Helter Skelter. If you've not heard that, I might have just opened your mind to a whole different. I would imagine you've got to have heard a few of the tracks. But it's very old school, early 90s, late 90s, that period.
I have the DJ
Cool.
Sessions mascot coming in here.
Hey, listen, every single show there's a cat. Hey, that's a big fat boy, that is. Look at him. Listen, I don't mind, man. I love cats. There's normally when I'm doing my live show, my actual cat will jump up from under the desk, and I didn't even know it was under there. And I'll go, "What the fuck, man? I'll be you little fat boy," and he'll wander about the desk.
But, well, you know what? We're gonna so basically the gosh, I just drew a blank for a second. That's the first. That usually doesn't happen. The Post-Human Podcast. The Post-Human Podcast. Let's come back to the Post-Human Podcast because we're here to talk about you. Is there anything coming up here in the near future you should let our DJ Sessions fans know about with your show, the Post-Human Podcast?
There absolutely is. I'm about to launch a dedicated server to the show. Mostly because I am sick and tired of YouTube censoring said content. So I've decided to go and buy a dedicated server. It will be launching roughly in August. We'll have clips on YouTube, but we're mostly going to be on the website. I'm not going to put it out there just yet. But believe me, you want to tune in because we'll have everything that you aren't going to see on YouTube. And the fact is, I pay so much for. I'm going to have to buy a fucking music copyrighting. So most of the time, when you go on YouTube and you watch a show, and they go, "Oh, we can't play this." Yeah, we fucking play it all. It doesn't matter.
Well, we'll definitely talk.
We'll play them all.
We'll make an appointment to talk a little bit about that. I can guide you through some stuff with all that fun stuff, and maybe save you some money as well, and definitely have secure stuff set up. But yeah, gonna get going here though. Is there anything else you want to let our DJ Sessions fans know about before we let you go, Tim?
No, just go to again, you can follow me at Posthuman Tim on most platforms, or it's the Posthuman Podcast. Like and subscribe. The more the merrier. And that's about that. There you go.
Awesome. Well, definitely thank you for coming on the show, Dr. Timothy K. Turner from the Post-Human Podcast on the DJ Sessions. Don't forget to go to our website, thedjsessions.com. Find all our socials there. Everything is there. Our app is there. Our VR nightclub is there. And more. Over 700 news stories a month, 2,600 past episodes, and more coming in. Contests, giveaways, newsletters, membership programs, merchandise. It's all there at thedjsessions.com. I'm your host, Darren. That's Dr. Timothy K. Turner for the Post-Human Podcast on the DJ Sessions presents the virtual sessions. And remember, on the DJ Sessions, the music never stops.